Hi, I'm Sam, and this is Sam Says. Today, I'm going to be doing a Kickstarter preview of Towers of Conquest. Towers of Conquest is a 2 to 6 player game by BC Games that is currently on Kickstarter. Towers of Conquest is a resource gathering combat game. When you start setting up the game, you are going to have these different map tiles like this. And you're going to put them together. They're in different shapes, different configurations, so you can kind of create a unique map every time you play. And the rulebook has a couple of suggestions as far as how you want to be able to do it. Then everyone's going to roll a d20, and whoever rolls highest will start. When you start, you place one settlement and 2 pathfinders. Your pathfinders are going to be your main resource gathering, just kind of running around and keeping key positions for resources. They're not really your heavy combat units, and so you start off with 2 of them, and they start adjacent to your settlement. You can get bigger units later on, like this. This is a ranger. This is more of a combat unit, but you have to upgrade your settlements before you can do that. Placement in this game is very important because you want to make sure that you are getting the correct resources that you need. Everything in this game is very well laid out and is very clear and easy to see. So as you can see right here, the blue resource is spirit, the red resource is wild game, the green is lumber, we've got grain, diamonds. And so when I would look at initial placement, if I could look at this cluster right here, I'd say, wow, where I have to place my pathfinders right next to my settlement, I could put a settlement right there on wild game, and then drop 1 pathfinder there on the wheat and 1 on the spirit. That would be a really good, powerful play because then I am there right on those resources. It's important to be on a lot of different resources because you're not going to be able to collect a specific resource unless you have a settlement, a pathfinder, or one of your other minions, creatures on it to be able to collect that resource. At the beginning of everybody's turn, they're going to roll the rune die. So if I rolled there, I pulled up and rolled a diamond. So this turn, on my turn, diamonds would produce. So I would count up how many people I have on diamonds, and then I would collect that many diamond resources. The resources in this game are cards, which you're actually going to collect, and you're going to have a hand of cards. Now you can trade in 4 of one single resource to be able to get 1 card of another resource. So it is possible to get stuff that you're not on if you're going to have a hard time getting across the map, but it is very expensive. In addition, one of these map tiles has a 3-for-1. So if you have to have a guy on the 3-for-1, you're giving up a resource base, but you're allowing yourself to trade in at a lower rate. As you progress throughout the game, it's going to start off as very simple. So you roll the rune die. Oh, trying to kill my own pathfinder there. Roll the rune die, collect the resources, and then you can build certain things. And you have 3 tiers of buildings. So you have the base tier, which is going to be these pathfinders. You're going to have your settlement. But then in tier 1, I can also build this. This is a fortress. And something that I really like about this game that's kind of cool is everything kind of works together and plays together. So this fortress, I just take it down onto my settlement, and I drop it right on top of it. That's cool because it keeps that settlement in place, and then I get an extra thing. Also, now that I've built that fortress, I've jumped into tier 2, which allows me to build battlements. Battlements allow me to attack directly from my fortress. Also, it gives me the option to build these rangers. And when you get super powerful and have so many cards you don't know what to do with them, you can build your tower. And your tower is really awesome because it has a ton of defense dice, and it's worth 3 conquest points for you. Conquest points are the victory points in this game. Plus, it just looks cool. I mean, look at that. Don't you want that? I want that. This gives you a lot of positioning power, but your tower can be knocked down. So once you hit tier 3, people can recruit these guys. These monstrous creatures can be recruited right next to your towers. And then they go out and wreak havoc. All of these special monsters have abilities that are unique to them. So you have base attack and defense statistics, but then you get to go in and look and say, okay, how does this person change the game? How do they affect the game? And some of them have some pretty cool abilities. This guy, who is on, you can see him on the cover art, he's pretty awesome. He allows you to attack 2 different targets with the same attack. If you watch the playthrough that I did of this, that was used to pretty good effect and really destroyed a lot of my people. This guy is awesome. He's the Berserker. He can actually go around and with his double mace attack someone twice. So you get to roll an attack and you get to roll an additional attack. Plus, he gets more attack dice the more injured he is. Awesome. And all of these guys have special abilities. They are pretty cool. So you're really kind of building up slowly over the game to be able to get to the point where you can bring these guys out, and that's where the real action in this game happens. Combat is pretty simple. You simply look at it and you say, let's say I had this Pathfinder, this is a Ranger, this Ranger attacking that guy. What I do is he has a range of 2, and so I can look from his position, 1, 2. I just count the hexes, and there's no, line of sight is really easy in this game. Everything has line of sight to everything. You just count it. So I could be here across a blank space on the map, and I could say range 1, 2. Easy enough. Like you can shoot through your own structures, shoot through everything. Okay. And I would say he has 2 attack as the Ranger, and the other guy has 2 defense. We each roll dice, and everyone rolls the same dice. There are going to be 3 attack markers, 2 defense markers, and 1 blank on a 6-sided dice. So more likely you're going to get an attack, less likely you'll get a defense. So it kind of evens itself out as you play. But that's it. Very simple combat. You go up and you go against each other. The nice thing about that is you get into the action really fast. And you play until someone gets 30 conquest points. So when you kill someone, so let's say this Ranger got really, really lucky and attacked over multiple times, and I killed my opponent's creature, which is this, I actually get to take this as a trophy. And now this guy's worth 3 conquest points. Previously, those 3 conquest points were for my opponent. Now they're for me. Just increase my total, and this cannot be taken away. Same thing, if someone kills like the battlements. So someone went up and killed my battlements, they get to take those, and that's going to be 2 victory points for them. So there's a lot of build-up in the game as you're kind of strategically positioning yourself around these resources. Okay, you're building up your engine, and then everything explodes, and there's combat everywhere. It's really cool that way, in which at the beginning of the game, there's a little bit, maybe my Pathfinder would shoot at someone, but they're not really effective because they roll 1 attack die. But all of a sudden, everybody has combat units on the map, and it is just a bloodbath. And that's where the really, really good stuff comes into this game. And kind of eyeing around and looking, okay, how many conquest points do they have? How many conquest points do they have? Do they have something secret? Another thing in this game is you can buy Conquest Cards, which you spend 3 resources of the same type, and you can get extra cards that will give you these cool abilities that you can perform. And one of them has a conquest point on it, but there's only 1 conquest point in the entire deck. So it's pretty rare that you'd actually get something that will earn you conquest points. Besides, there are mission objectives that you can go out and complete that will earn them to you, but only 1 that gives you a straight up conquest point. But that's basically it. That's Towers of Conquest. I do love these player mats. So these are kind of cool. They give you the Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. And they go through and tell you, hey, this is how much movement they have. This is their range, their attack, how many attack dice they roll, how many defense dice they roll, and their hit points, as well as how many conquest points that they're worth. Plus right here, it gives you the phases. I love this. I wish more games had this. I know a lot of games nowadays are starting to have it, but more games need it. Because with this, I don't need a rule book for this game. This takes care of it, which is cool. Besides maybe little tinkery things here, like, oh, can I do this combo with that? Maybe you'll have to reference the rule book, but you don't have to do a lot. Most of it is here. Also, if you're wondering what these special abilities are, it's got all the creature's special abilities listed on the back of your map. How cool is that? The graphic design in this game was excellently laid out. So you know exactly where you are on the map. You know exactly what you're going to be collecting because everything is color coordinated. The cards match up with the pretty bolded hexes. There's never a question of what you're on, which makes it really easy to play. There's not a lot of, oh, what am I doing over there? Do I have a lot of stuff? No, you pretty much know. You're like, oh, I'm on wheat. Easy. So that is Towers of Conquest. The material that I have in front of me, this is a prototype game. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you are encouraged enough that you want to go and check this out on Kickstarter. I had a blast when I was playing it for the playthrough video. So check out that playthrough video if you want to see kind of how some gameplay works. This was a paid preview for Towers of Conquest Thank you for watching. I'm Sam. This was Sam Says. Check me out on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you. Have a great day.